thanks everyone for being here. It was a great atmosphere. Your presence is definitely appreciated. We're just, I'm sorry we didn't make it a better game. I don't think we did our part to make sure that this game was representative of, I think, the type of basketball that we can play and the type of rivalry we can make it. That being said, obviously, it's hard to credit Stanford enough. They're really good. I was having some conversations with people this week as I'm watching film that I really think Chene and Nneka might be the best post combination to ever play. Women's college basketball, I asked Jennifer Razy, I saw her the other day, and we were talking about it. So obviously credit them, and I thought their supporting cast played really, really well, and I thought they played very, very hard, made life difficult for us. On our end, I hope that we can use this to teach us a lesson that we have to be the team that plays the hardest for 40 minutes every single game. We'll get our guys, our team regrouped. We'll go down to LA, and hopefully we can use this to kickstart us to have a really good postseason.
Questions? Lindsay, your three-point shooting, how difficult when they're hitting does it make it to do what you guys need to do?
It makes it really difficult. I think that's probably what they've been looking for all year, with that kind of shooting to complement the inside game. Our game plan was definitely to put a lot of pressure on the ball. I think that's one of our strengths, and want to make them uncomfortable on the ball, and at the same time be able to have a lot of help side in the paint and double Nneka and Chene when they caught the ball. I thought we gave them a few too many open looks off of things where we just could have been up in them a little bit more. But again, I credit them for being able to knock them down. We can bring someone like Bonnie off the bench and just let her be a marksman out there. It's troubling, and when they can extend the defense, I think it makes them, as they are, one of the top teams in the country.
Lindsay, had you expected to have more success with your press against them than you did in this game?
Yeah, I think the major problem in the first half is that we couldn't score, we couldn't get into it. When we were really having trouble scoring, so it never got us in a flow of being able to press. Obviously, I think they're so well coached, I need to be prepared. Press break, I thought we bothered them at times with it, and then obviously the second half they really picked it apart a little bit. So I think for the game to have gone our way or been more competitive, we really would have had to keep them off balance with the press, and it just didn't happen as consistently as it could have.
Lindsay, what they do to take you guys out, what you want to do?
On offense? Mm-hmm. Well, everyone early on in the year, we talked about this post matchup. I think the angle which people talk about it from are, hey, can we stop, the Agumekes? And I think the other part of that conversation is that we score through the post a lot too, and all of a sudden it's a little tougher for us. We don't get the things that are easy for us, that we get against other people. So I think that they do a good job of limiting our easy baskets, and then as I thought we were a little bit impatient, and our offense didn't make them work for things, but they do a good job game planning. They're really physical with Leja. They know that gotta not let Leja get any easy looks, and then they kind of packed it in on our post a little bit.
Lindsay, Brittany came out and had 4 rebounds in the first 4 minutes and a steal and basket, and then didn't make a lot of shots after that. Was there an adjustment Stanford made against her, or it just wasn't working?
Well, early on in the game, that's exactly how we want to play. We get a stop, we get to push in transition. Whether she makes them or not, that's a good look for us, and that's the way that we want to play. And I thought the first 3-4 minutes, we really got that kind of stuff, that the looks that we wanted. We then got stops less frequently. They start hitting shots, and all of a sudden we're slowed down, and they're game planning a little bit. That makes it tougher to attack in transition when you're not getting the stops you need to get them at. Probably most disappointing, in fact, we gave up 86 points. It's hard to do anything that we want to do if they're scoring it. And again, I credit them. They're really good, but we let them score too much, and it affected our flow as much as anything.
Now, what is it going to take to beat them in the tournament?
First thing is we have to have 2 really good games and get to that point where we're playing them again. And we'll get our team ready, and I know we'll be fired up, and we'll do what we need to do. Gosh, better effort than this. The first thing is that they play so hard. Nneka and Chene are unbelievably athletic, but I think just minute for minute, I don't know if there's anyone that outworks them. So we have to make sure that we're surpassing that. We have to be a little bit more disruptive. We have to make sure they don't we can't give up both. We can't give them, touches in the paint and give up open threes. So we'll be ready to have some other defensive looks.
Eliza, you're known as a defensive player. talk about the defensive effort today. Are you disappointed in what happened?
I think we gave a little bit. We gave up too many open threes, and we let Tony get off a little bit. It is hard to stop the Agumakays, but if we can just do our job on Tony, it'll make the game a little bit more even out. With her scoring 23 points, you don't expect. I mean, I guess she's a really good player, so I guess you can't say you expect her to score, but to give her 23 points and then Bonnie coming in and shooting the lights out of the ball, it makes it a little bit harder to stop Stanford, period.
Lindsay, Tara's been, I don't know, defensive for lack of a better word, for a few weeks about what she perceives to be the national perception of what they've done, without asking you necessarily to fawn all over the team that just beat you. What is your impression of Stanford and its place nationally right now?
I just told her before the game, I almost called her after she made those comments, and good for her. I think if you put them in any BCS conference, they are successful. They are at the top. They are really, really good. And I think that the separator with them is that, and I'm talking now over my 6 years of familiarity with them, is that they have some of the best players in the country, and they are also incredibly well coached. Period. When you have that combination, they're very good. When you get to the tournament and matchups, I mean, who knows? But I do think that they don't necessarily get the credit that they deserve, and she'll go anywhere, play anyone, and hopefully the rest of the country, will not knock the conference, but give Stanford the respect that they deserve.
Well, so there was a 6-minute stretch there late in the first half where they went on the big run and you guys couldn't get a lot going offensively. Was that, in your mind, a pretty crucial stretch for you guys, not being able to convert?
I mean, I wish we could put the ball in every time we come down the floor, but when shots aren't falling, it makes it hard on any team, and especially playing against Stanford. So, yeah, it was definitely a crucial moment. Shots weren't falling for us, and then they're making shots on the other end. Just makes it a tougher game to play.
You guys are usually a better free throw shooting team than that too, aren't you? Are you a little disappointed?
We haven't been very good all year.
But better than this, right?
Better than 48%, correct. I thought the first half we were knocking them down. You can't have this kind of mistakes and hope to compete with the number 2 team in the country. And, we have to do better. We will do better. I'm not disheartened with the group that we have, but I also think that it's a great opportunity for us to channel this and be really fired up for the postseason to get better, to do better. Free throws, our defensive effort, making the right decisions on offense. Those are the things I would point to. And again, I say all that with the angle that Stanford's not going to give us anything that comes easily to us.
You rebounded with them. I mean, the rebounding was.
We got on the O boards a little bit more than last time. I thought we gave up too many second chance opportunities to them, but obviously that's where Chene in particular is doing a really good job. She's just tough to keep off the boards.
When Rashonda and Talia got their second fouls, you had to sit them, and did the game get away, you think, at that point?
I thought Justine and her physical presence is actually maybe in some ways a little more troubling for the Agumakays. I mean, they don't score, she's a little bigger. And obviously Jen, is always a spark for us and can do some things. You don't want to have people in foul trouble, but we feel confident in the 4-post rotation that it doesn't feel like, oh, how do we manage, the way we might with one of our guards, who we rely on in a different kind of way. I'll have to look at the film and see if that was a turning point, but my gut tells me it wasn't specifically, just about that. We were in a little bit of trouble before that, but, it's a good fouls.
Eliza, to take a big loss like this, a big defeat like this, does it shake the confidence of the team going into the Pac-12 tournament?
Not really. I mean, I think we all wanted to win this game, but this game doesn't hurt us. Like my coach is saying, they're a great team. You have to respect them. But are they 25 points better than us? No, I don't think that they are. But I definitely think we're gonna come back in tomorrow and regroup and be ready for the tournament.
Coach, do you expect to, I guess, rematch against Stanford sometime in the Pac-12 tournament?
I think we have a lot of work to do to get there, but that's obviously the goal. I think it looks like, you know, that we'll play the winner of Utah, Colorado, and then whoever after that, if we can get through that round. And I think the major thing, that sort of story of the conference has been that, I mean, really, anyone can beat anyone on a given night, and I think we've done a good job of separating ourselves from that, and that's why we finished in second. And there's no better time to sort of show that than in the conference tournament. But we have some work to do before then, and like I said, there's only one option, and that's to use this to make us better on, is it Thursday that we play?
Yeah.
Thursday and on Friday, and that's what we have to focus on. And if we can do that, that'll be really good, and then we get the chance to take another shot at it. But my focus is on making sure that we're the best version of Cal basketball on Thursday at 5 o'clock or whenever it is.
What's the sense of what you need to do, or have you done enough? Is the resume good enough? RPI, I think, is 27 or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's a question. I really don't. I think there can't even be a question that, you know, the second best team in a BCS conference that's higher in the RPI than the ACC, I think there's no question. Would I, you know, always feel better that to go get, you know, a couple more wins in the tournament? Absolutely, but my focus is on winning a Pac-12 championship. That's where I want their mindset to be, and being at the most elite possible level. I think, yeah, I think hopefully that's not part of the conversation at this point. Any more questions?